Welcome everyone, my name is Kevin. As promised, I'm bringing you that hands-on look and my impressions of the brand new Samsung Galaxy A02. Not to be confused with the slightly higher tier Galaxy A02s, this is an even more affordable option, and Samsung does make some compromises with this phone, but they've kept in the features that we really love about these budget phones, like the micro SD card slot and the headphone jack too. Another key and highlighted feature about the Galaxy A02 that I also touched on in my YouTube Shorts unboxing of the phone was the 5000 mAh battery. Now, I'll touch on this and all the other features and give you a brief rundown of my thoughts of the device so far. This new A02 device is coming at a price point that is lower than any phone I previously checked out at the time of its release. Samsung has not sized down the battery capacity or the display size as compared to these slightly higher tier models, but I know specs alone are far from enough to recommend this phone to you so early on. One area where I'm positively impressed with this phone is the build quality and the construction. Now, I have the black color variant, and on this phone, in any light and really any angle you hold it, it doesn't strike me as cheaply built or poorly constructed at all. It is a fully plastic built phone. Like the A12, we have a striped down rear design, which makes it comfortable to hold. There's no creaking or unwanted flex to it either. Perhaps better yet, the buttons are audibly tactile and not finicky. We do have a MediaTek processor. It is the MT6739W chip paired with the PowerVR GE8100. All that means to us, and what can be easily distinguishable, is the benchmark results between this and the slightly higher tier Galaxy A02s. I put the more affordable A02 on the left, and as you can see, the results favor the Qualcomm octa-core chip of the A02s by quite a bit. You know what, I do have some serious concerns about the everyday usability of this phone, and I'm gonna really put it through its paces in my full review before I give you the recommendation of whether you should buy it or not. I already did the unboxing and the tour of the device on my previous upload, but again, here's what comes in the box. We have the standard travel wall adapter, it's 1.55 amps, the SIM tool, and the charging cable. What really piqued my interest about the A02 was the phone's display size and the battery life. That panel is 6.5 inches with a pixel density of 270 ppi. All around, the panel is a strong point for the phone, and it makes the A02 a great media consumption device on a budget. At this price point, I think gift buyers and parents would feel comfortable putting this in their shopping list or giving it to a younger person. As for myself, I've been using it as a secondary device, not my main phone, since I've been very spoiled by high refresh rate panels and pixel-dense screens. A quick note about the RAM on this phone and my experience with multitasking so far is 3GB of RAM on my model, and switching between apps has been just fine. I did feel the need to speed up the general performance a bit. This was done by enabling the reduce animations in the settings. You can search for this and find it quite easily in the settings. In the Advanced Feature tab, you can also change the motions and gestures. Personally, I turned on the double tap to wake, which is a really useful feature on larger screen devices, especially if you have smaller hands. To touch on software, the fact that we have Core UI 2.5 and Android 10 on a device like this in 2021 is not great. Unfortunately guys, there's no face registered unlock, there's no fingerprint scanner on the phone at all, so no biometrics. And another con, this one is actually kind of big for me, is that the phone is using micro USB charging, not USB-C. I thought we had left micro USB like long in the past, as long ago as 2016, but Samsung disagrees because they've put it onto this phone. Now whether that's just like pinching pennies or they've had some leftover unused components, I'm not a big fan of this move. Samsung's Core UI being on this phone does mean that there is minimal bloatware, and it means that a lot of the cool stuff that is on the full version of One UI is on here, like the Dolby Atmos feature. Samsung Galaxy A02 is packing a rear dual lens system. The theme of penny pinching and frugality has unfortunately returned to the cameras, as the main lens is only 13 megapixels, and the other lens, for macros, is just not that great either. We have acknowledged that macro lens plenty of times in the past, as one of the cheapest sensors and lenses that you can put into a modern phone. This being said, I still am thankful that it's here, as opposed to it being a single lens rear camera system. With the main 13 megapixel camera, colors were good, depth of field and dynamic range were adequate for me, but overall the focusing and the lack of overall image sharpness was a bit disappointing. Here, in this sample, you get to see just about as sharp as you can get this phone's camera to look. Usable? Yes, it's just not worth bragging about. For the front camera, here is the selfie test example that I know some people were eager to see. I can say I honestly am impressed with the selfie results you get for a phone of this price. So now that you've gotten a full tour of this device, I know there are going to be some questions, so I'm going to be answering those in the comments, but I'm curious to hear from you guys. Do you think the micro USB charging port on a phone, even if it's a budget phone, will pass in 2021? I'm very interested to hear. That's all for today, my friends. Bye for now.